We stayed at Desert Trails RV Resort in Tucson, Arizona. This is the check-in and mail area. They have a lot of nice cactus gardens around and natural cactus areas throughout the park. They also have a number of palm trees. Palm trees aren't native to Tucson. There's one variety of palm, the California fan, which is native to the western part of the state, but the rest of the palms have been brought in for landscaping. It's late October and the park's pretty empty. Their real season doesn't start until the beginning of November. In the far background is Old Tucson, a movie set. It's located next to Saguaro National Park and in front of Tucson Mountain Park. This studio is where the movie Tombstone was filmed. There are trails leading from the RV park into Tucson Mountain Park. Ivy was leery of going into the desert at all, and she did get stuck by a couple of cactuses, but it also seemed like she might have been bothered by smells. We were a little leery for her as well, due to scorpions, tarantulas, black widows, rattlesnakes, mountain lions, and killer bees. You name it, they seemed to have it. And there were lots of holes in the ground, and the big thing is don't put your hand in any holes. We wanted to be sure Ivy didn't stick her nose in any. There were some killer bee traps around the edge of the park. This is a great picture showing a couple of saguaro cactus in the trail in the back of the campground. The park had two nice dog parks, one for larger dogs and one for smaller dogs. They also had lots of buildings for different activities, but it was really geared towards the cooler weather. There was no AC, they just had fans running. They had buildings for puzzles and crafts. Another building had woodworking tools. They had this library, so they did have some neat offerings. Many of their amenities could use some updating. These are the bocce ball pits. They just look a little run down. And this is the gym, missing mirrors and kind of sparse on equipment. Many of their picnic tables also look kind of worn. I like this little reminder. They also have a laundry and a pool. This is our site. I think it would have been tight if all the sites around us were full, but it did have nice views. Behind us, it led right into the desert. There was lots of dog barking in the park. Half of it came from the houses next to the park and half from the people living in the park, and some might have even been coyotes or dogs barking at coyotes. We went to Saguaro National Park on the west side and hiked the 2.6 King Canyon and Gold Mine Loop Trail. Saguaro is the name of the big cactus with arms. I'd never seen them before except for in westerns, and I was very surprised with how large they were and how many there were and how hilly the landscape was. There are also many other kinds of cactuses on the trail. It's late October, but the temperature was still reaching well over 100 a day, so we had to finish our hiking by 10 in the morning. Saguaros can live to be 200 years old, and they don't start developing those arm-like branches until they're about 75. For a change of pace from the hot desert, the next day we decided to drive the 90 minutes to Tombstone. Along the way, we passed this nut cellar, and I stopped to get some pistachios and pecans. The pecans weren't ready yet this year, so this was last year's batch, but they were still delicious, as were the mesquite pistachios. They were addicting. It was impressive to see many of the old buildings in Tombstone and all the old artifacts. We took a short trolley tour and learned that many of the buildings beyond the main strip were also original, including the Boot Hill Graveyard. We bought tickets to the Wild West gunfight comedy and to the gunfight at the OK Corral reenactment. The actors took pictures before and after the show. A little hokey, but fun.
They knew this handsome ranger was about to meet his death, about to meet his death. There was 40 feet between them when they stopped to make their play.
Violating the city's ordinance? Well, you see, that there is Marshal Fred White. I think we made him mad. Oh, no. Stupid Marshal.
I becomes my business, White. Hell, you of all people know very well. I handle my business the proper way.
Doc, understand. Family is everything.
For your guns.
I don't want that!
After we headed to Big Nose Kate's saloon for lunch. It is in the location of the historic Grand Hotel and still has the hotel's bar, which survived the fire of 1882. Al was happy to let me know that the bar was ecologically sound and recycled. That's it for this post. See you next time.